With the first pick in the 2024 NFL Draft.
Welcome back into another episode of the Daft on Draft podcast. We are in week one. Time for some week one action. Again, typically our cadence in season is our first episode of the week would be discussing what happened the previous week, but last week was week 0, and the football is back. The football was not great, but it is back. And
I don't know what you're talking about. I thought that football was phenomenal to sit on the
tsunami in
recliner
Ireland
and take a nap. I took a nap during halftime in the beginning of the third quarter.
Yeah. We'll talk about it. But what else we're going to do today, since there are not a lot of games to talk about, is I wrote a mock draft today, and Dalton's going to pick it apart, and we're going to go through it, and he's going to ask me questions, and he's going to challenge me. So that's what we're doing today. But Dalton, how are you? You're back in Pennsylvania now.
Dude, it's insane. It's insane. Everything is insane. A fact-finding mission down in Ocean City went about as well as it could. We have a daycare set up. He is going to start daycare on January 1st. And we are in the process of getting our lease to an apartment down there, and we're going to move down October 1st as of now. So, I mean, it's so much happening in my life right now. Watching tape is pretty much secondary at this point. I'm just trying to keep the Patreon afloat and keep that tape rolling in for y'all. And trying to get my meals in and my workouts in and get a little bit of work done here and there. But man, life is moving at 100 miles an hour right now, and I'm just hanging on.
Yeah, that's a lot. You just went for vacation and came back.
Dude, we just moved back a month ago.
I know, and came back with future plans already to move again. So I love that. So did you get to watch a lot of football?
So no, I didn't get to watch a ton of football, but I did watch the big game. I did watch the big game, and I got a little bit of the tape from the Hawaii game as well.
Nice.
But that is the only football I got to watch.
Their little freshman quarterback's fun, dude. Hawaii's little freshman quarterback.
Yeah.
He's going to get paid a lot of money to transfer to somewhere else next year. But all right, yeah, so let's just go through this briefly. It's not going to be a whole lot because again, like outside of Oregon State or Iowa State defensive tackle Dominic Orange,
big
Western Kentucky big citrus, and Western Kentucky quarterback Maverick MacGyver, there wasn't a ton of. I know some scouts are like really love the tools of Avery Johnson, but he was atrocious for 75% of that game. And
okay,
so
yeah, I just want to bring
the start to his season that he would have anticipated.
I want to bring this up. He's a great athlete, and I think he's actually a really good college football player overall. My issue was you're doing these teams an entire disservice playing on fields like that. Just flat out. Playing on fields like that, in conditions like that. Those dudes could barely stand up. Avery Johnson was barely able to hold on to the football.
The ball was on the ground so much.
The ball was on the ground so much, man. It was a slop fest. And that's kind of what you get when you're playing in England. It rains a lot in England. That field is 75,000 years old. That grass was atrocious, not built for football, American football. It just is a bad recipe. You need to do better by these guys. And I love the idea of playing overseas. I want these guys to be playing overseas. I want the game to continue to grow in Europe. But to do that to the physical detriment of the players potentially from an injury perspective, and from the detriment of the product that you put on the field, because watching that football game, is there really any reason why Kansas State should have lost that game? Like, I thought they were clearly the better team throughout that game. Yeah. The mistakes were the mistakes, and Iowa State ended up taking care of business in the second half. But I thought Kansas State in that first half dominated and just couldn't finish drives because of conditions and their own mistakes.
Yeah, given the you never know with the Big 12, they could be playing again at the end of the season. These two teams, so
yeah, that is true.
It's just very, very Big 12 like to open the season and close the season with the same Big 12 game. Yeah, it was ugly. Probably not a lot. I mean, I talked to a scout afterwards. He's like, I'm kind of glad they played this game in Ireland because that's one less game I have to watch because I'm not getting anything from this game. Yeah, pretty brutal. Some other fun games. Idaho State hung with UNLV for 60 minutes. They actually had a lead there for a while. UNLV's got an interesting quarterback situation between Anthony Orji and Anthony Calandria there, but not a lot to talk about in terms of NFL draft stuff. Same with Kansas. Although the Kansas running back is on Feldman's freak list, the Highshaw kid. Apparently he's a freak athlete.
I think we talked about him
carries, but
we talked about him a little bit. I've seen a little bit of him. He to me feels like more of like a bowling ball guy and not a Feldman freak when you watch him. But the athleticism must be there somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But, they had a receiver rack up 77 and 2, so maybe I'll keep an eye on Cam Pritchett, and if this production keeps up, that's going to be a midseason watch list kind of guy for me.
I would also like to bring up
Jalen Daniels was 18 of 20 for 176 and 3.
Listen, I love Jalen. I love Jalen Daniels. I love watching Jalen Daniels play football. But yeah, from an NFL draft standpoint, no.
No, I get, yep. Let's get to midseason.
I do want to bring up.
I mean, 18 of 20 is a really efficient. That's really efficient quarterbacking.
I do want to bring up Jace Brown though, from Kansas State.
The Kansas State wide receiver.
Yes, Kansas State wide receiver, fast and a little bit technical as well. I think he's a fun player. I haven't watched him in depth, but I've watched him enough to know that he is, to me, a fun college football wide receiver at the very least.
Yeah, I love it. Before we talk about Western Kentucky, Sam Houston here, I want to look up Bailey Zappe's stats the year he smashed all of the records. Because I had a hot take coming into the season. I watched Maverick MacGyver a little bit at his App State tape coming into the season just to get a feel for him. And I said, I think there's a chance that MacGyver could beat Zappe's record. But now I'm looking at Zappe's numbers, and I'm not quite sure if I want to.
They were insane.
He threw for 6,000 yards and 62 touchdowns.
Yeah, they were insane.
All right, so what's MacGyver on pace for here? MacGyver threw for 401 yards and 3 touchdowns.
That ain't going to get it done. That ain't going to get it done.
I think his tools are better than Zappe for sure.
Bailey Zappe.
MacGyver he's got a nice little arm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, plus a bowl game, so 13. So 401 times 13, that would put him at 5,200. So yeah, he's got to pick it up quite a bit there to get the.
Yeah, you got to be throwing for 600. You got to be throwing for 600 plus.
Zappe went over 500 twice,
but he threw for over 400 like every single game.
Yeah, he was only under 400 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, 6 times, and only under 300 one time. That's bizarre.
Yep.
That's bizarre. But yeah, I'm gonna chart MacGyver tonight, and I'm gonna do it live for some video content for the paid subs there. So if you want to watch that video, it's gonna be coming out the same day this podcast is. Give me $9 a month, $8 a month, whatever it is. I don't even know how much I charge. All right.
Well, if you're doing it live, it won't be.
Well, live charting, like I'm recording myself charting, not like doing it live.
Oh, I thought you were going to be like live.
No.
Okay.
I can't Twitch. I'd get DMCA'd to hell if I tried to Twitch all 22.
I have in the past.
Really?
Yeah. They got to catch you. That's the problem. Like they got to catch you.
That's fair.
But
I guess Catapult's too fixated on YouTube to maybe even care too much about Twitch.
You know what? Let's not even talk about them.
Yeah. All right. But that's really it for the week 0 slate. I mean, Stanford, Hawaii was a slot fest. That was a fun game. That little freshman quarterback they've got is good. And you heard the story about the kicker, right?
No.
He's a Japanese kicker who's still learning English, and he taught himself how to kick by watching YouTube videos.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah, and he made a game winner to
lovely.
beat Stanford.
That is
Yeah,
lovely. I didn't hear that story about him, no.
Yeah, I don't envy Andrew Luck, man. He came out of retirement, out of his farm life to bring his alma mater back to life, and he's got to. Not only does he have to compete against the rigorous academic standards of his own school when trying to recruit players, but he's got to do it from a P4 conference. Not a great place to be, and they don't have a long-term head coach yet either. Like Frank Reich is interiming, so like,
yeah,
that's not a great situation to try to work with right now. But it's only year one. Can make it happen.
Listen, we talked about this crap slate of games for 10.5 minutes here. I need to yell at you about this mock
Let's
draft.
get it. Let's do this mock draft. Let's get after it.
I just have a question first. And I tweeted this or X'd it, whatever. Would New Orleans getting the first pick actually have any impact on whether or not Arch would decide to declare for the NFL draft or not? Do you think that would actually sway him at all?
I think it might be the plan for that family. I think it could be the plan.
See, I don't know. And I understand the idea. Obviously, he's the namesake.
Mm-hmm.
He would be continuing his grandfather's legacy there. That would be incredible. But I do also believe that family is intelligent enough and can reflect and see the writing on the wall with that organization right now and how far that organization has to go right now. And now maybe they are cocky enough, confident enough that Arch and the future of that organization will be able to turn it around. And maybe Arch being this, they might want Arch to be the savior for that organization's turnaround. But maybe they also look at it and say, man, that's a really ugly cap situation and overall roster for our grandson, son, nephew to deal with.
Yeah. I'm trying to look here. Kamara could be cut post-June. I'm trying to see what their cap situation. Yeah, they're still in the red next year. They're still in the red, by a pretty hefty margin next year. So they'll plan to be competitive again by 2027. Can Arch play for a team with a pretty quick turnaround? Like in 2027, they're anticipated to have $134 million in cap space because Taysom Hill, Alvin Kamara, Cameron Jordan, Demario Davis will all be in void years, but off of their books.
Do you? I don't want to ruin him. So do you?
Yeah, I understand.
You just redshirt and go with me. Listen, you already have 2 young guys on that roster who could play and hopefully show a little bit of something. So to act as a little bit of trade bait that next offseason. One of them is a 30-year-old rookie. Sure, I get it. And the other one is Spencer Rattler, who was one of the top names in the country in college football for a while. And somebody who I still have a little bit of hope for in the NFL as a spot starter type.
Hey, he's outplayed Shuck, but I feel like if you draft a 26-year-old in a influx year, you kind of have to play him.
Yeah, I agree.
I think it would be dumb for them not to. Like, you're not going to win games regardless.
Yeah. But we can move on from Arch. I mean, we know the rest of the
but
story.
I did mock Arch first overall to the Saints here. Following his grandpa's footsteps.
And let's talk about number 2 and number 3 here. We are projecting, like, if you had to guess today, who would go first now?
Mm-hmm.
It's obviously Sellers. You're projecting that going to Indiana, being in that offense, Mendoza is going to continue to grow and outplay the Sellers this year. And
dude, I have a lot of conviction about.
Because I know that you love him.
But I was even thinking about it today. I was like, when's the last time I've had this level of conviction in a player? And I couldn't tell you. And that's not to say I think Fernando Mendoza is the best player in the draft, right? But like, there are some guys. Like, I feel like this would be like Antoine Winfield Jr. for you, maybe going back to 2020. Like, what's the highest level of conviction you've had in a player where you're like, I know where I fall with this guy compared to consensus. I know what some of his perceived deficiencies are. I don't care. I have that much conviction that he's gonna be a guy.
Antoine Winfield Jr. and Aleem McNeil.
Yep. I was even thinking who. Like, I didn't have this level of conviction in Shedeur. Like, and I think that's a lesson for me as well. Like, I shouldn't probably pound tables for dudes that I don't have like the utmost conviction for. But like, I have a tremendous amount of conviction about Fernando Mendoza. Like, I see the arm, which is A-, right? It's not like an Allen Mahomes, Richardson level arm, anything like that. It's an A- arm, but the pocket fluidity, the pocket movement, the internal timer, it's all there. He understands when he needs to start looking for, when he can alert the backside post. Like, all of the stuff. He knows how to set his own protections. He's really good situationally. Like, some of the stuff that's hard to teach quarterbacks. Like, it's innate to him. And so I have so much conviction in Fernando Mendoza. And so, yeah, I mocked him second overall here to the Cleveland Browns. Again, the Browns just drafted 2 quarterbacks, man. But if they are picking second overall, they're going to take a quarterback or they're going to sell the pick again.
A third round,
and you're going to try to just stack up for Arch if Arch doesn't come out.
A 3rd and 5th round pick mean nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Absolutely nothing. A 3rd round pick is like you trying to get a cheap backup for 4 years. 3rd round through 5th round quarterbacks is like you're intentionally trying to draft a backup.
Yeah. I think the next thing that really caught my eye was pairing Cam Ward and Jeremiah Love in the same backfield. I have nothing else to say about that other than that would be unbelievably dangerous. And that is an organization. So outside of the Browns, and the Browns might just be cursed, but like the Browns, the Giants, the Jets, there are a few organizations that I have less confidence can actually do anything than the Tennessee Titans. For some reason, they just keep recycling a terrible idea of hiring a GM and then firing their head coach and then firing their GM and then hiring a new one and then firing their GM.
Yeah, like, they never line them up. There's no alignment.
They never line them up. There's no continuity in that front office. They continuously make terrible decisions, but my gosh, would they be fun to watch if Cam Ward and Jeremiah Love were in the same backfield?
Yeah, I would feel a lot better about this pick. I went ahead and did it because I understand that Jordan Tyson is good. I would struggle to mock him. I like Jeremiah Love is one of 2 blue chip players that I've identified in this class. So like Ashton Jeanty just went 6. We're going to start seeing this trend again. Teams are freaking running the football again, man. It just is what it is. The current running backs are Tyjae Spears and Tony Pollard, man. Like that's a very upgradable backfield. Very upgradable. And Pollard's probably going to he's going to have a cuttable contract after this year. So, and then I think Spears just got hurt again. And he came into the NFL off of 2 ACL injuries. So it makes a lot of sense to take some, and they've spent an outrageous amount of money in draft capital on their offensive line that this just feels like the next logical step to me is to take some pressure off Cam Ward and run the freaking football.
Makes sense to me. Now, Klubnik and the tools over Nussie and Aller, right? Which at this point, like we don't need to even discuss Aller being in the same realm as those two.
Aller's not in the first round of this mock draft.
And he shouldn't be. But with me in particular, like, I wonder at this point what Shane is looking for. Because he's starting Daniel Jones. They drafted Riley Leonard. So I do think mobility would be an important factor because both of those guys are mobile. And Anthony Richardson is obviously mobile. But I do wonder if, because I still think there's a lot developmentally that Klubnik has to show with from a consistency perspective. where I think Nussmeier has more of that now with lesser tools and more of just a gunslinger mentality than Klubnik does.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just wondering what Steichen would be looking for here.
Yeah, my first question would be: are Ballard and Steichen going to be the ones who are making this pick?
That's a
If they're
great
picking top 10
question.
again. Yeah. For me, I just kind of went down my quarterback board here a little bit as well. And,
Yeah, that
this is
makes
the
sense.
4th quarterback off the board at 10th overall now, 8th overall.
Yep.
So this just feels like a 2024 draft to me where like those first 3 picks are like quarterback, like no questions. If those are the first 3 teams
If those are the first 3 guys, if those guys
maybe
are
the Saints would try to sell the pick, I think, because with the cap situation and maybe trying to stack up for Arch a little bit. The Saints would probably try to sell the pick. The Browns might try to sell the pick if they don't feel like they're in a position to draft a quarterback after this season as well, and they want to hold off for Arch Manning or somebody else like that too, like DJ Lagway. But here, 4th quarterback, 8th overall. To me, Cade Klubnik's not clean. I don't have conviction out of any quarterback in this class after Arch and Mendoza, to be honest. Sellers is easy to get there if I see 1 or 2 things.
He just needs
That's
to play
about it
more
right
football.
now. Exactly. So I don't have conviction about any of these guys, but like, what are the Colts going to do? Resign Jacoby Brissett and throw him back out there? Like, if they don't draft a quarterback, like, what direction are they going to take? Is this going to be Justin Fields' next team? Like, that's where I struggle. It's like, well, if they're picking 8th and they're taking a then like they're going to need a quarterback. And if it is Steichen and Ballard, they're going to be desperate for a quarterback because then this will be their last shot. And so drafting the guy who's a 4-year starter probably makes him a better day 1 player for you.
The Rams take good football player at number 12. It's not surprising whatsoever. They don't care. They have absolutely smacked on drafting defensive players over the last couple of years. It's been outrageous. I think Matt Stafford's body is falling apart. I can't see him playing after this year. I'm actually kind of surprised he's playing this year. But you've already had 4 quarterbacks going, and there shouldn't be another one going right now. So it makes total sense to me.
That I have a quarterback going next pick, though, but it's whatever.
Yeah, but I love this pick, actually, because I think Nussmeier, his game fits the personality of Pittsburgh very, very well. The coach's son, I think he's tough. He's small, which scares me because of the way that he plays. But I think when I look at him in Pittsburgh, I think that he's someone that Mike Tomlin would really jive with overall.
Yeah.
Other than that, Falk is a Seahawks edge. Falk is a McDonald edge through and through. I mean, that is a pick that makes absolute sense to me. If that doesn't happen in April, I might be surprised.
Yeah.
Like that, it fits. TJ Parker to Dallas. We'll see if they get something done with Micah. If they don't get something done with Micah, this is something that they would absolutely. And I'm actually okay, even if they would end up re-signing Micah, to have Micah and having all 3. That doesn't bother me because first of all, you can never have enough edge rushers.
You need at least 4. Yeah.
And the other thing is I could also see them doing this if they don't get Micah signed before next year, which I think a deal gets done. I think Micah wants one done. I think they want one done. I think they're just jockeying back and forth and doing the Dallas Cowboys thing and building more revenue for the team because of the circus that it is. But they could use this as a bargaining piece against Micah Parsons. Like, hey, we just drafted a guy midway through round 1. He's a stud. Donovan Ezerokwu was really good as a rookie. We don't need you anymore. We don't need to pay you this much money. And so they could use that as a bargaining chip.
Mm-hmm. It's not going to work.
No, it's not going to work. He's still going to be the highest paid edge rusher and non-quarterback in the NFL. But, that's neither here nor there. They're just going to waste another year and then have to pay more after a couple more edges get paid.
I mean, is Micah going to play? Like, legitimately, is he going to play?
I can't see him not playing. Micah. If there's anything, it's like Zeke. Zeke loved football, loved football. And Zeke loved to party too. But Zeke loved football. And there is nothing Micah loves more in this world than being on the field and playing football. I think the only person in the NFL that might like football more is Max Crosby, who I have seen want to fight a coach for taking him out of a game against the Chiefs when he was hurt and they were down by 2 scores with like 3 minutes left. This is a dude who wants to play 100% of the defensive snaps. I love Max Crosby. Anyways,
I love Max Crosby.
Free agent? I mean, at this point, we don't know. He is on the final year of his deal. They have not extended him. I think that he is upgraded. I think he's played well for them, but he is definitely upgradable.
Entered the season in a competition.
Yeah, and he's upgradable.
Yeah, it's just Kyron Amagaji has not played well. So left tackle's yours, Braxton.
Yeah,
but yeah, I think Isaiah World, they've upgraded every other position on that offensive line since over the last 2 years, their entire interior this past year. So it would make sense to me. Isaiah World to the Bears here at 17. That's a big ass set of tackles too there with Isaiah World and Darnell Wright.
Yeah, and they just drafted Ozzie too.
They did just draft Ozzie.
Yeah, so they got dudes there. They definitely have dudes there. I love the CC pick. I know that I'm kind of jumping around here.
Yeah,
but I love the CC pick to Arizona. I think that versatility is something that they would definitely look for. Abney to Tampa Bay makes all the sense in the world. Banks to Cincinnati. You're really knocking it out.
Cincinnati's a fun one, man.
You're really knocking it out here. And then a guy that wasn't even in Dane's top 50, you took 21st overall, and he's a running back.
The Vikings are loaded.
Running back that I love, but he doesn't touch the ball very often as a real running back on his own football team. The other guy who runs a 4.7 does. And so I just, at the end of the day, if his own team doesn't love him, why would, and we do, Corey and I love Nick Singleton, Penn State running back, but his own team doesn't even really start him. They use him more as a jet sweep guy. He's a great receiver. He's a great pass protector. But will the NFL actually love him? Because he's a running back. Why wouldn't he have declared last year if the NFL did like him?
Exactly. But another year tape. I'm hoping Penn State's a little more conscientious of how they use him. But the Vikings are loaded, dude. This is a team that can take a premium pick, and their starter is Aaron Jones, man, who's in the last year of his deal. He's definitely not in the prime of his career. Ty Chandler is their back. This is a team that could use an infusion of explosiveness at running back. So
Gooseby to the Rams. The rich get richer. Oh, I hate that. I hate it.
Replaces Havenstein at right tackle. I know his tape is better at left, and he's playing left this year, but I kind of took what I could get here. I mean, Alaric Jackson's got blood clots though, so you never know what.
Yeah, that is true. I hope. Obviously, you hope the best.
Right. That's
it's really nice to see Alaric actually, finally, after being moved all around that offensive line, find his spot at left tackle of all places. Chris Bell to Washington. That's a great fit with Scary Terry, man. It's a great fit. It's a great fit with that quarterback, man. That's gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
One of my favorites.
Sonny Styles with Vance Joseph. I hate you. It makes that defense so much more fun. Other than that,
there's another team that's really hard to find a freaking hole in their roster.
The Broncos.
Denver's got some freaking talent, man.
Yeah, Sean Payton did it. And I was skeptical. I've always been skeptical of Sean Payton, but he might actually be a really good freaking head coach. Texans taking an OT, obviously. And Kenyon City. We're going for Travis Kelce 2.0.
Everybody
We keep doing
won't
it. We
shut
do
up
it every
about
single
Kenyon
year
Sadiq.
at this point. Like Kelsey keeps getting older, and we're like, well, this athletic tight end.
This is actually his contract year, though.
Yeah, he's gonna go right into the sunset with T Swift. I
People
love.
won't shut up about
obviously, I
Kenyon
love this
Sadiq, man. Everybody, it seems like around the league, just keeps talking about this kid.
Well, we're about to see a lot of him. And you
we are.
brought this up, but we're going to see a lot of him this year.
Mhm.
We are not going to see many tight ends get the ball more, if any.
Yeah, maybe Gillenborg in Washington or Wyoming because they don't have anybody else. But quarterback play is not going to be great there.
There has never been a more edge rusher for Dan Campbell and that football team than LT Overton. So that's a fantastic pick. Kamari Ramsey pairing him with another young safety and Cole Bishop there.
This was one of my
Buffalo.
favorite ones too. I like
That's
that
a fun one. I love the Bills defense. I always have, and I have because of Hayden Poyer, because I'm a safety guy. And so if you get two good safeties on that defense again, I'm going to love that defense again. And that's really all I have to say. I think you did a pretty good job overall, man. There was nothing. Unfortunately, there was nothing that I really hated other than I am a huge Lenora Sellers fan. But you have your convictions and I have mine. And
NFL windows get tighter, and he's not throwing into
Don't-
college windows, and that's my biggest hesitancy right now. Biggest hesitancy right now. So,
yep. But other than that, I really like what you did here. I didn't bring up the McCoy to the Panthers because we already touched that on our last mock, but I think that's a great pick as well.
It's an easy one.
Yeah, and that's all I got. I love you guys.
Shop the Sherwin-Williams Labor Day sale and get 35% off paints and stains August 22nd through September 4th. With prices starting at $31.84, it's the perfect time to transform your space with color. Whether you're looking to revamp your interior or exterior, we have you covered with bold hues, soothing neutrals, and everything in between. Visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store or shop the sale online. Delivery available on qualifying orders. Click the banner to learn more. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.